Well, hello there, folks. Hey, Danny. There we go. Ooh, my lighting's horrible. Hello, Danny. How you doing, man? Yep, you're first. I can see you on the chat. I don't see no one. Can you hear me? You should be able to hear me and see me at this point. No, you're not. Hey, Austin. Hey, Austin. How you doing? Lily, go lay down. Go lay down. Oh, how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? There you can see Miss Lily. Can anybody hear me out there? You're the first in the chat. Okay. All right. Well, hey, Danny. Hey, Austin. Hey, Smoking. Hello, Brian. How you doing? Sight and sound is good. Excellent. Glad to hear it. My lighting's a little messed up. I forgot to put my light out in front of me today, so I don't have my... Oh, you know what? I might be able to fix something real quick. Let me just try something here. See if I can't help my lighting with... Oh, there you go. That's a little better anyway. There we go. Using a mirror. Hey, Cam, how you doing? Yes, Miss Lily's sitting here jumping up and down like a moron. She's being an idiot. She has been a pain in my butt all day today. I mean, really a pain today. Today I've had some serious work I had to do, and she was just being an idiot the whole time and got in trouble a lot. Get down. She just doesn't understand when I start talking to the computer. You would think the amount of times I've been doing this in her lifetime, she would be kind of accustomed to it, but she still just doesn't seem to get it and gets all excited when I'm doing that. So go lay down. Go lay down. There you go. See, now you can see the computer. Everybody can see you. Are you happy? So what's going on? Hey, Akula, how you doing? Hello, Michael P. Hello, Steve. Hey, Brian. Just passed my ASA 105 this past weekend. Awesome. Way to go, Brian. Good job. Very good job. That's a difficult test for people to take. I myself have been working on a very difficult test this past week. I've been preparing myself for my real estate license testing, which I have to do on Tuesday. And I'm really not happy with the training software company that I use for that. The company that I use for doing the online lessons, their materials was really not very good. Their practice tests were not very good. And when I went to go take the actual real practice test for it, it was like 2 whole grades higher in evolution than what they had prepared for. So I'm really not happy with it. I still passed. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I want to be in the high 90s, not just in the 80s. So I was a little upset with them. But hey, Andy, how you doing, man? Good to see you too. Hello, Brian. Hey, Kelly, what's going on, man? Good to see everybody here. So I really don't have a whole lot to go. Well, no, that's not true. I did not have a whole lot I was going to talk about today. The title of this is Into Every Life a Little Rain Must Fall. It has been raining and pouring here in Ohio. It's like, you know, I moved out of Alaska to get away from the snow so I could get out and get some exercise and enjoy myself, enjoy the weather. And now I'm down here in Ohio where it's been doing nothing but raining. And so once again, I've been stuck inside the garage here and not been able to get out and do much because it's just been raining and raining and raining and raining and raining and raining here. In fact, there's all kinds of flooding going on here in the area. My glasses are filthy. All kinds of flooding going on here in the area. A lot of roads are getting closed because of it. So kind of like out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak, or I guess out of the snow and into the rain. But that's not what I came to talk about today, although that was the title of this. There's been a couple developments that's gone over the last couple of days that I wanted to discuss a little bit, to rant and vent a little bit on. So this might be a bit of Grandpa's rant as usual. But there was an article in All Things Sailing's Facebook group. I don't know if you guys are members of the group All Things Sailing on Facebook. It's an excellent group. You should join it if you can. It's a closed group, so you have to sort of apply for it, and then they accept you. Anyhow, there was a fellow in there that made the comment about his frustration with all of the e-begging from all the YouTubers. All of us YouTube creators in the sailing genre, e-begging and Patreoning and GoFundMes and all this sort of activity that was going on. And so they had this big, long, drawn-out argument, so much so that the moderator of the group had to get in there and nip a lot of it in the butt, trying to keep people in line and stop people from being rude and what have you to each other. But there's a whole lot of misunderstanding, I think, that goes on with that. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think there's just a whole lot of misunderstanding. There are some people that think it's simply a matter of, oh, you get some money, you go out, you buy a boat, and you get a YouTube channel, and you start creating YouTube videos. You make a bunch of money, and then you go and you just do nothing the rest of your life but that. And, there's nothing further from the truth. Clearly, that's somebody who just doesn't have a clue how this whole YouTube thing works. If there's anybody that knows how YouTube works at this point, I think I'm qualified in that, because I think at this point I've done more damage to my YouTube channel than any other YouTube channel that I'm aware of that's still in existence. It's that way with all of YouTube. Yeah, that's true, Kakula. It is. It is that way with all of YouTube. And Brian, I'm in Lancaster, Ohio. I didn't mean to ignore your question. I'm in Lancaster, Ohio. So. Hey, Rhonda is here. Hey, everybody, give Rhonda a big round of applause. I guess, I don't know if that's appropriate. Rhonda just survived some serious surgery that was done on Tuesday. She had a defibrillator installed inside of her, some very serious surgery, and now she's home recuperating from that, which I am really thrilled that she's home and okay and everything's fine. So, guys might want to give Rhonda, yeah, you go, Mike, some thumbs up or something, or say some nice stuff to her, because she needs it. So it's the way with trolls. Yeah, Mark, and it's not just the trolls, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I wasn't going to say much about this after seeing this article on All Things Sailing. And then I saw a post today by another fellow who actually is a brand new YouTube creator who's just starting a YouTube channel. And he made a comment on there as well. And I thought his comments were sort of off base a little bit, He was sort of the opinion that people like Sailing La Vagabond and Delos and stuff who are making a bunch of money should be, somehow sharing that wealth with other people or doing more to spread the love or whatever. I really don't know what he was kind of getting to. But I could tell from the posting that I read that he had a certain amount of disdain for these people that have proven themselves to become so successful. And so I made an argument or a comment on the thread about how I kind of think of starting a YouTube channel as kind of like going to college. You do a tremendous amount of research and homework. You do a lot of schooling. You get a lot of education over a couple of years with little or no income. You spend a great deal of your money getting that education, buying equipment, cameras, and what have you, and doing the YouTube thing, and learning software and editing and all this kind of stuff. So there's this tremendous learning curve as you get started with little or no income whatsoever. And it's not until you've been doing this for a year or two and have put out, a lot of content that you really get to any place close to being where you're starting to make any kind of money. And so I kind of think of it as like going to college and getting a college education. You're getting your bachelor's degree in YouTubedom by starting a YouTube channel and getting started. And at this point, I think I'm there. I know what I need to do. I'm not doing it. And I'm going to explain why I've really not been doing it for a lot of reasons, but one of them we'll talk about a little. But hello, Alexander O. Hey, No Plastic 61. How you doing? So why should they share the profits of their hard work? Exactly, Andy. That's exactly right. And what people seem to forget about is, yeah, maybe Delos just does a video now and they make $10,000 or $12,000 off of that video this week. That's great. But, you know, they had to work their butts off for years. They had to bust their butt for years to make the money to buy the boat. Then they had to bust their butt for years building up an audience and putting out all the content and doing all the creative stuff to get there. You know, it's not just that they're sitting on the boat drinking beer with a lot of TNA around them, enjoying themselves and making $10,000 a year. And why should anybody want to donate money to that? You know, you've got to realize that they've paid their dues. You know, they paid the bill. They did all the work up front and earned that position. Nobody gets to a position like that until they've earned it. I'm still working on earning mine, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we're doing this live stream. So I kind of wanted to touch base on that just a little bit. I'm really fed up with these people that get on and complain about the e-begging, or the people that get on and talk about, you know, the trolls and stuff. You know, they just rob so many people of so many different things. You guys don't know. You guys just don't know. If folks don't like the concept, then they should simply not watch. Well, Michael, see, that's the thing, Mike. We put the content out there for free. Just like this live stream, you know, I'm putting this out there for free. I'm taking my time today, and I got my computer, my equipment, and my software all working here, and I'm putting this content out for free for you guys to consume. I'm not asking anything in exchange for it. But, you know, I'm hoping once I'm sailing and making, you know, reasonably good content, that people will respond and jump on and become a patron or what have you. And certainly certain people have. I've vacillated back and forth with my channel at this point that, you know, I sort of have a bit of a credibility issue, really. Honestly, I do, because I kept jumping back and forth between sailing and homesteading. And it won't be until it happens, you know, when I'm really doing one or the other, that we're going to know the truth of that. I know what I want to do and how I'm going to get there. But I'm tired of blowing wind about it, how I'm going to get that and then have it fall flat. So we'll wait until we get there and see how that comes. So let me catch up a little on the chat here. Michael P says, yeah, folks, that's right. The girls had to bust their boobs as well. I hope they get their share. Austin, you know, there's a lot to be said about that. Yes, there is. Don't say anything exciting. I'm going to go get a beer right back. Okay, John, we'll hold for you. Hey, Outcast, how you doing, man? Glad to see you. Hey, sailing with a Dutchman. And my boat, Tina, is out of the water and safe. Very good, Sailing Dutchman. Glad to hear it. Michael P., but they should not complain. Just get over it. Don't watch, is what I mean. Go do something else. They should. Yeah, I agree. You know, I've always been raised, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. This sort of stuff that's been going on with these conversations and listening to the hatred. I mean, there's real venomous hatred on behalf of some people towards the YouTube creators that are creating some of the content. Andy says e-begging is a ridiculous term. It's provided form of entertainment that you don't have to buy if you don't want to help the provider. Is Tina flying? No, Tina's on the ground. Yeah, Andy, that's correct. E-begging is a ridiculous term. Some people say that, you know, the problem that a lot of people are having with this is because it's something relatively new. It's not new. Maybe it's new to you and your concept. This is not new. This is as old as any type of media. You know, Michelangelo had patrons. All the great artists throughout the ages have had patrons. They've had someone who supported their work through one fashion or another. Either they made things and sold them, or they made things and people paid them just to make things. You know, when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel, he had a patron who was supporting him and covering his cost of living while he painted that. That's how those kinds of things get done. So it's really no different than what we have today. It's just that we have technology and mechanisms in place to make that more readily available to the masses. And so we find ourselves maybe for the first time in our society where people in the working class are participating and having the opportunity to be patrons to people. It's not just that 1%ers that are the patrons for everything nowadays. So that makes a bit of a difference there. Just got married today at Beer Can Island. Video to follow soon. Outcast, awesome, man. Congratulations. Well, I don't know if it's congratulations or not. Maybe it's condolences, but awesome. It's good news for you, man. I hope all the best for you. I know I've not had good luck in that regard, but I wish you all the best. So, Hey, Carl, on this GoFundMe topic, I'm old school and something about the GoFundMe. Dog, pull it down. Something makes my hair hurt, my teeth itch. But I'm old school. I try to compare GoFundMe with Buskers. Yeah, I kind of get that. I'm old school too. And, at first I kind of had a problem with it. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I can kind of see the application for it. I know there's a number of people that, literally spend their evenings on GoFundMe reading and watching the different channels, the different programs that are out there looking for funding and donate a little bit money here and a little bit money there. I personally know people that are contributing to over 1,000 different GoFundMe campaigns. People that have done well and have pretty good money, and it's their way of kind of sharing their wealth and doing that. So, everyone's in a different place in life, and, technology has sort of leveled the playing field for everybody. And so I think in that there's some confusion. Our parents didn't contribute to GoFundMe campaigns. They just didn't do that. Now, our parents may have donated to the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, bought Girl Scout cookies or donated to little local things or whatever going on. But I think technology today has sort of, as I said, leveled the playing field and made it much more acceptable to a whole lot of people. They're very gracious and supportive of quality content providers, cross-promoting and Patreon support. Yes, Delos and La Vagabond are very good. In fact, I had someone tell me that they were really upset with Riley on selling La Vagabond. And I can tell you that in one of my darkest moments, I had gotten a really nice email from Riley that kind of picked me up and helped me get back into the direction that I wanted to go. And I'll talk about that as I segue around over to that. But yes, they can be really super people. Now, I've also reached out to Delos and asked them to help with funding and stuff and got no response from them at all, which was sort of disappointing in them, but, it may just not have been the right place at the right time. So we'll see how all of that breaks out. So, okay, Rhonda, good to hear. The procedure went well. Yep, cool. Very good. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Don. Okay, yay. Hey, Palm Limit, how you doing? Okay, so here's the problem that I have with all of these negative people on YouTube and Facebook. Is with time as a creator, we learn to get a tough skin. We really do. But I know of a lot of creators or potential creators who never came to the table, really, because they were too thin-skinned to be able to deal with the abuse of these kinds of people out there. And so there's a lot of good quality content. I know of one particular girl who achieved a certain amount of fame on a sailing YouTube channel, and it was difficult for her, but she did, and she as I said, achieved a certain amount of fame, and then was going to go on and do her own, and never could quite bring herself to do it. And a lot of that, I think, was because of her inability to be able to deal with all the haters out there. And even though this was a much beloved individual for most of us, there's still, that contingent of buttholes out there that, in that case, robbed us all of what could have been some really great content that we'll never see, that never was created, because that individual was not able to, withstand the slings and arrows of such outrageous fortune. I myself can tell you firsthand that my content creation took a huge hit, and I backed away from YouTube a couple of times now as a result of, piling on by so many negative people. And so, I wonder what content would have been created or how things may have been different for me. What it did for me, however, is it enabled me to think long and hard. And man, last couple of years, I've had a lot of opportunity to think long and hard. I thought long and hard about a lot of subjects while I was up in Alaska by myself, and I'm doing the same thing here in Ohio Even though I'm here and amongst loved ones, the loved ones have been rather estranged from me for a long time, and so I'm kind of like living in with a bunch of people that look real familiar that I somewhat know, but in some ways are still strangers. Sort of weird entourage, not entourage, but anyhow, weird situation going on there. But anyhow, so what happened to me was, I think a lot of the negative crap that I was dealing with personally, combined with the negative crap that I was getting from trolls and stuff on YouTube, sort of ate my passion. You know, they sort of took my passion away from me, and I decided to change direction, and you know, maybe that played a big part in my vacillation between genres and which direction I was going to go. I can tell you that I've been thinking a lot, long and hard, the last couple of weeks about passion and about reigniting my passion. I actually saw a show on, of all things, you know, I have a Amazon membership, and on Amazon they have a television show called Mozart in the Jungle, and it brought up a lot of interesting points and arguments, and it was nice to me. I really enjoyed watching a show about articulate, creative artists and the life that they were leading and what they were going through, and seeing how they were dealing with the application of their passion and presenting that to the outside people, and what was going on with that. And I think the writers of that show dealt with it very well. And it sort of helped me in my content creation. So, yeah, see, Frenchie, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Are you going to create content or just chat? Chat is content, Frenchie. I guess you can't appreciate that, so don't watch. If you had the time, effort, or energy to have learned anything about me and my channel, you would know more than that. But it's that exact sort of thing that just perturbs everybody. So with that said, you know, it's getting people like that that's robbing the passion from so many creators. And I think we're losing an opportunity for a lot of great content. Now, I particularly have redefined my passion, reanalyzed it, looked at what is important to me. My family and my grandchildren are certainly very high on that list of what's important to me. And I'm here in Ohio and I'm getting reconnected with my family members. But I look at them differently than my sons do. You know, my sons were my sons. They were my responsibility, and it was my responsibility to teach them and raise them and do what needed to be done. My grandchildren, I look at sort of a different perspective. They're not necessarily my responsibility to raise them, but they are my responsibility to set a good example for them. And they're my responsibility to be able to fill the gap in some of those things that their parents aren't necessarily providing. And so I'm going to be working on trying to earn as much as I can possibly earn in the next few years. I'm trying to do a live stream here, you know. Yes, good dog. Get down, please. Get down, please. Thank you. Come on, get up here. No, up here. Come on, there you go. That way people can see you on the screen. Yeah, I know what you want. She wants one of Rhonda's health bars. Old Cheshire Canary on here bought Lily these health bars, and she just, yeah, I still got 5 fingers. She absolutely loves them. Don't you get those all over me. Get back. Anyhow, first choice is family here. Yes, family is absolutely first choice, but to what degree? So what we need to do is we need to get the things that the family really needs. And so I look at it from a little different perspective. It's not my job to provide for them their clothes and their roof over their head and their hamburgers. It's my job to provide them the opportunities to do things that they normally would not have the opportunity to do. You know, the swimming lessons, scuba diving lessons, traveling, you know, fishing out in the deep sea ocean and doing those sorts of things. The things that I love. And so that's the direction I'm kind of taking it. So, hey, Jamie, how you doing, man? Hey, Trav. No problem. Sunday Night Live. Well, thanks, Palm Limit. I appreciate that. Kirkland bones. Yeah, actually, Andy, yes, Kirkland bones are okay. I'm not feeding the milk bones anymore, though. but I will be acquiring some Kirkland bones. Right now, Rhonda turned me on. These are the Blue Buffalo brand health bars. And as you saw, they're bacon, egg, and cheese. And Miss Lily, easy, absolutely loves them. So that'll keep her happy for 5 seconds anyway. So anyhow, it's having these people rob us of our passion. And so I went back and I reviewed my passion. What is it I'm passionate about? I'm really passionate about scuba diving. I'm really passionate about sailing and traveling the world by sailboat. I'm really passionate about the world ocean and ocean conservation and those areas. I'm really passionate about fishing, and yet at the same time, conservation of fish. And I'm not a big advocate for setting aside, great big huge areas where you're not absolutely allowed to do anything in there. I think that's crazy. I think that never in the world has a single man with a fishing rod ever wiped out a species of fish. It's poor management on the industrial scale that is creating all of our problems in that regard. And, that's the old factory versus farm issue. So those are my passions, guys. My passions are sailing and fishing and scuba diving. And that's what I plan on doing. And I plan on creating that content and showing it here on YouTube. I have a responsibility to my grandkids to demonstrate to them the kinds of things, that's possible in life. Now, I am going to be back and forth between Ohio and Florida, and that's fine. But we're going to be generating a whole lot of good sailing content, scuba diving content, and that sort of thing as we're going along. So, hey, Cuckoo, how you doing, man? I'm thinking about taking an advanced swim. Hey, Waukesha, you should take advanced swim. Absolutely. Lily, get down. Yes, Rhonda's tasted them. Actually, according to Rhonda, they taste pretty good. I don't eat dog food, so the only dog food I give to my dogs is Blue Buffalo. If you ever read the ingredients on like Pedigree or other brands, it would truly shock you. No, it wouldn't shock me at all, country boy. I read the labels on everything dog food-wise, and a lot of it is absolute crap. So, tail wigging in the background. Yes, she's wagging her tail and jumping up on me and being a usual pain in the butt. So, oh, Cage 28, Spokeland. Sorry, what were we talking about? Hey, no problem, man. Glad, welcome here. Welcome to the channel. So we're talking about passion and development of passion. We're talking about the concept of e-begging and how it's robbed so many people of their passion. The one particular person I was talking about earlier, there's a young lady who really enjoys sailing and all that's involved with that. The beaches, the blue waters, the warm tropical waters and all that, and bikinis and stuff. And she's a great girl and would have made phenomenal content, but she didn't. And she didn't make that content because she was scared off because of all of the buttholes out there, all the people that are negative about so much stuff these days. So going back to e-begging and that, I want people to understand a little bit more about YouTube. There's a certain number of people who think that us YouTubers, we go out, we buy a boat, and we're sitting out there in some tropical location with a bunch of TNA around us, drinking cold beer. And why the hell should they donate money to us when they're busting their ass in some cubicle, sweating, trying to make their money as they are? And, in those circumstances, I agree. You probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't. But the guy who is making it on YouTube, and there's only a half dozen channels, sailing channels right now that are making any money on YouTube. You guys have to recognize the effort and energies that have gone into where they're at today. The years, frankly, the years of creating content, of buying all the tripods and cameras and equipment, and I'm not a wealthy guy, and I've got $10,000 worth of camera gear within arm's reach of me practically. The computers and all that on top. Lily, get down. Enough. Sit. The computers and stuff that we have to use. Learning the software. The Adobe Premiere Pro software. I mean, it easily takes 6 months of almost full-time 40 hours a week to learn this software and get halfway good at it, and I am not even a third of the way good at it. And then, you know, putting stuff up on YouTube, and then there's the comments, and then they're dealing with the negative stuff, and you know, there's so much more involved in developing and starting and building a YouTube channel than just, you know, TNA on a sailboat and a pretty beach. You know, frankly, I'm a little, well, let me catch up on the chat and I'll get back to this in a second. I finally bought a 78 Catalina I told you about. Awesome, man. That's great. To be a successful YouTuber, I think you have to have great content, be vulnerable, and show you're real and have a high passion for what you're doing and have thick skin, and sometimes isn't enough. Yeah, Kelly, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Don B, not wanting to disagree with you, but we can all follow our passions without GoFundMe. You just need another way to earn, as millions do. GoFundMe is just an alternative. Yeah, Don, but GoFundMe, that doesn't mean GoFundMe's bad. You know, just because you're not wanting to or willing to or interested in doing contributions to a GoFundMe doesn't mean there's not a whole lot of people out there that are. And, you know, as a YouTube creator, we've got to try to find every avenue of revenue that we can. There are some people that will much prefer the GoFundMe business model as opposed to the Patreon business model, as opposed to the Super Chat business model here on YouTube. Or you know, just donating directly into someone's PayPal account. You know, there's a lot of different ways that people do that, and you know, whatever way is good for you is what's good for you. And if it's not good for you, that's fine, but don't run people down because they do it. Everyone's got their different motivations, and what's convenient for one person may not be convenient for another. So have you heard of that new stupid Tide Pod challenge that's killed a couple of people? I wonder who's the idiot that invented the challenge. Yeah, yeah, Jamie, I'm not even going to go there. It's about the most ridiculous thing I've I've read about in a long time. Might have somebody interested in buying my truck. Good. Nothing wrong with asking for donations. It's up to everyone if you want to donate. That's right. That's right. Didn't say it was bad, just different. Okay. All right, Don. I agree with that. So, yeah, and so this whole concept of e-begging and GoFundMes and stuff as being a negative thing, you know, I think that it's not that it's such a new thing because it's old, you know. Media being paid for by sponsors or patronage is old. It's the old style way of doing things. We have a business model out today, which is really not too unlike television, you know, that we grew up with as kids. You know, you have somebody creating a television show that's paid for by a sponsor or advertisers. And you know, in the meantime, our society has evolved to where not only do you have that TV show paid for by advertisers and sponsors, well, you go lay down, but now you're paying your dish supplier or your cable supplier in order to watch that show. We're putting it up on YouTube, which costs nothing except an internet connection, which you can hack for free at the library or internet cafe or what have you. We're putting the content up for you for free for nothing. YouTube does stick some advertisements in there to help generate some revenue, very, very little. So, you know, what's a guy to do? You know, if it's a venue for earning income that's used, and it's just that simple. So, all right, enough about the negative and GoFundMe stuff. I just wanted you guys to understand. I wanted to make kennel. Come on, get in there. Kennel, get in there. Have a little downtime. There we go. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that, but I had to put Miss Lily in the crate for a little bit so we can get some stuff done. My point is that all the negativity about these sorts of things, you know, you got a YouTube creator. He's not making peanuts from the AdSense money coming off of YouTube. So he offers to do some Patreon or some GoFundMes or different things to get something done. Now, frankly, I kind of see different purposes for that. I see Patreon as for people that want to donate things on a regular basis. They're supportive of a creator. You know, a couple of $3 a month, whatever. I'm going to support this creator, and I can watch this guy's show. And you know, I don't want to say, you know, with a clear conscience, whatever. But you want to watch this guy's show knowing that you're having some investment in it. And that puts it in a different perspective and gets you sort of more engaged a little bit. I look at things like GoFundMe as if, there's a specific need, okay? If I'm out of my sailboat and X breaks down and I need to replace it, might need to do a GoFundMe for that kind of thing. That's kind of where I think of GoFundMe. It's a different tool for a different application. But the point is that all the negativity about this stuff, I think, is really taken away the passion from a lot of creators. We're seeing a lot of people that have had YouTube channels who are backing away from them. Right down the line, all the way up to and including Casey Neistat. Casey got upset with a lot of the stuff, lost his passion for a while, backed away from it, did some other things, and is now kind of coming back to a little bit. I think there's a lot of that going on, and I just hate to think about, like the one example I gave about the one girl who kind of didn't create content because of it. I think, how many other people out there watch and see all the abuse that the YouTube creators are getting and aren't creating because they're afraid of dealing with all that kind of negativity. I don't know. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? The thing is, patronage is just an old concept Christopher Columbus explored by way of patrons. That's right. All the old masters were funded by patrons. Patrons just opens the old concept up to the masses. Patreon, you're right. It's just a technology that opens it up to the masses. That's very, very right, Patrick. Thank you. Donald Wayne. Hey, Donald. Some people ask for funding on the hope that they will create some worthy content. They put the cart before the horse. Yes, Donald, certainly is the case. I'm guilty of that. I've been having people contribute to my Patreon account and the GoFundMe and my PayPal and whatever, trying to get myself onto another boat so I can get out and make more content. At what point does that content start? Am I creating content now, or am I only creating content if I'm actually out on the sailboat? Are the conversations that we're having, of no value? I don't know. So you're a sailor man. That's great to have. Have you ever heard of the Titanic and her two sisters, Olympic and Britannic? I've studied all three of them for about 2 years. Oh, very cool, Jamie. Nice. Yep, well aware of them. Well, I'm well aware of the Titanic, and I've heard of the Britannic. I wasn't aware of the Olympic. A lot of people left and went to steam it. Hey, Papa Truck, some people went to steam it. A lot of those people that went to steam it found out what everybody else that went to steam it found out about, is that the viewers aren't there, that they just don't have the numbers. And so a lot of those people are recognizing the fallacy of that and coming back. There's a couple billion people on YouTube every day now, I understand. And steam it just doesn't have the numbers. So it's going to have a long, hard road before it makes much of an inroad. Don B says, totally off topic. A few months back, I mentioned I was too short for my weight. Now down 40 pounds. My height matches my weight, and I'm feeling pretty good. Awesome, Don B. That's awesome. I wish I had equally good results to announce. I do not. Vacillating back and forth, changing back, coming here to Ohio, being stuck here in this garage without being able to get out and exercise in the rain. I have not been losing weight that I'd really hoped I would have had off by now. I do have a new goal, a new schedule, and a new passion. I am 35 weeks away, and this is my timeline, guys, just so you know. I'm 35 weeks away to the end of hurricane season. At the end of 35 weeks, I will be on a sailboat in Florida. I will own a sailboat and be on a sailboat in Florida in 35 weeks. And it is my hope to lose 2 pounds a week between now and then. So somewhere in the 70-pound range, I hope to lose between now and then. And that's my goal that I'm working on. I'm reconfirming my goals based upon my newfound passion. So I'm hoping that all works for me. So we will see. But good for you, Don B. I'm glad to hear that. Most organizations or creators have PayPal. You can donate as you want. Yes, that's true. No Plastic 61. Yep, everybody does have PayPal. Waukesha Pilot just got done watching the NASCAR race. It's called sponsorship. Man, isn't that ever the case? Yeah, Waukesha, I want to I want to point out one of my suggestions. I honestly believe that we need to make this a law nationwide. It'll never happen, but I really think we should make this a law nationwide. I think all of our politicians should have to wear NASCAR-like jackets at all times with the advertisements and lists of all of the companies that have bought them. Wouldn't that be interesting? Huh? Wouldn't it be interesting to see your senators and congressmen out there with a coat on that, that has the names of all the companies, ConAgra and Monsanto and, all the big military engine companies, Sperry and Rand and all these kind of guys. I think there should be disclosure on their jackets that tell you who they're representing. So, yes, Andy, 2 pounds a week is exactly what my plan is. Stop by the Panhandle. We'll get a cold drink. Papa Truck, you got a deal there. We'll do that. Hey, Smoking. Grandpa for answering the negative comments. Okay, Smoking, I don't know what negative comment I answered, but okay. If I missed a comment, please ask it again. I'll try to get it. But I try to, and then, if something is too ignorant or too stupid, I simply delete people. I am really good at just deleting somebody, blocking somebody on my channel. When I get someone that's just really ignorant and obviously has no intent to do anything but to disrupt, I just delete them. So life's too short to deal with stupid people. So there's a Cali County website called Fat Secret. For me, it helped me watch my caloric fat carb intake. Yeah, Don, I'm not good with any kind of like websites or anything like that. My weight loss theory is pretty good. It's called Eat Less, Move More. And I've not been able to move as much more as I want to. And frankly, the more I want to be doing isn't really available to me here. I have imagined once I'm on a sailboat and swimming every day, we'll see a pretty good weight loss. But in the meantime, I'd kind of like to get that going. So I'll teach you about a good call. Yeah. That's a phenomenal idea. Isn't that, Patrick? I think that all the politicians should have to wear NASCAR jackets. Full disclosure of who they're representing. So, you're doing a great job. Thanks, Smoking. Limbaugh said the same thing. Oh, did he, Rhonda? Oh, Rush Limbaugh. Man, I'm in good company now. If I'm in with Rush Limbaugh, that's, oh, well. He's a bit of a whack job, but I guess I am too. So, there you go. So, anyhow. So that's my rant for today. Is I'm tired of the haters and the guys just out there trying to cause problems. I'm sick and tired of all the passion that they're robbing from so many people that could be producing good content, including myself. And Waukesha. Okay, I said that wrong last time too. Waukesha pilot. Okay, sorry about that. Chop wood, that's a good way of losing weight. I'm not any place where I can chop wood, nor do I have a wood burner at the moment. I am in a garage that is heated by electric here in Ohio. So, and I'm on a lot in town where they actually frame on burning wood, if you can imagine that, because it creates too much air pollution. Meanwhile, up in Alaska, I've heated my house for the last 7 years with a wood stove. Loved it. Loved doing it, but you have access to an indoor pool. Yeah, no plastic 61. I do have access to an indoor pool if I want to join the YMCA, and that only costs me $1,100 a year. Yes, you got that right. $1,100 a year to join the YMCA here in Lancaster, Ohio, to have access to the pool. $1,100 a year. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We were actually researching places to take my grandkids because I want to get my grandsons started with some swimming lessons. And the best deal I've been able to find, there's a golf course over here that has a pool membership. You can either join the golf course, you can join the pool membership. And as non-members, my grandsons can go there and take swimming lessons. It's 1 hour a day, 5 days a week for 2 weeks. So it's 10 hours total time, $80 a child to learn how to swim. Now, people, I think learning how to swim is like learning how to walk. It should just be that natural. But yeah, $80. So that's okay. Still love you. Well, thank you, Waukesha. There's no A in there. There's Waukesha. Oh, well. Did you sell your property in Alaska yet? Oh, Papa Truck, don't even. Yes. Yes and no. You didn't hear my live stream last week, otherwise you would have seen me in a real bit of a rant. Yes, the property in Alaska has sold or is selling. It's supposed to be closing here on the 9th. And my lovely ex-wife filed an injunction against the sale, so now I am not getting anything. Originally, we had the property appraised. It appraised at $215,000. If I sold it at $215,000, she was to get $15,000 of that. Unfortunately, it's selling for $169,000. And so nobody's getting $15,000. In fact, we're only going to get about $8,000 out of it, and she's getting all of that. So I'm getting screwed. I'm getting nothing out of the sale of the farm in Alaska. I'm just putting that chapter of my life behind me and moving on. It is what it is, folks. So balls to that. Yep, balls to that is a good answer. Balls to that. Don't go there. Yep. Yep. $1,100 a year. Yes, KH28 Spokeland. $1,100 a year to be a member of the YMCA here in Lancaster, Ohio. Come work out with me at 24 Fitness in Lancaster. I'm there once a day. Hey, Alexander, I would do that, but I'm not a gym workout kind of guy. I just, it's just not been my thing. I never have wrapped my head around, and I used to work out in the gym. I actually used to work out with Howard Stern and Robin Quiver. We worked out in the same gymnasium in New York when I had my real estate office in New York back in the early 80s. Used to go to the gym once, an hour a day, 4 hours a week. We'd go work out during the lunch hour and stuff. And I didn't find much benefit to it. I really find the best thing for me is walking and swimming. I don't need to get stronger. I mean, I'm plenty strong enough. I need to lose weight. And so I need to, I need to stop the 12-ounce curls and just get out and start walking and swimming. So, indoor walking track. Actually, Plastic, I just found out that I can go over here to the local mall, which is just literally right around the corner from me, and I can do laps inside the mall in the rain. New plan. That idea was just suggested to me, so maybe even starting tomorrow, I'm going over to the mall and just walking circles inside the mall. So, lovely, the X comes out of the woodwork. Yeah, and couldn't have been at a better time, Andy. Just as we were getting ready to close, she's got to get in there and get there. Never mind. I'm not going there, guys. I am seriously trying to put that chapter of my life behind me. It's worthwhile not getting that money to put that chapter behind me. I'm going positive. I'm taking the high road. I'm keeping my passion. I'm keeping my dream alive, and I'm moving forward. Full speed ahead. Damn the torpedoes. I've got a direction, and that's the direction I'm going again. So P90X works well from my living room. I have no idea what P90X is. I'm a member up here, dude. Less than $300 a year for Lydia and I. At the YMCA, for you guys, that's not here. I mean, I literally just, actually, one of the girls that lives here in the house with Johanna is a member of the YMCA, and she just brought me the pages. She just went in and got the membership information, the cost to go over there. I think as a non-member, I can go to the pool for $5 a day. I could do that, but I don't have the $5 right now. So I literally have no income at the moment, guys. I'm taking my real estate test on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'll be able to get back to work, hopefully on next week after that or so. Give the state time to do what they got to do. So, do you have kids with the latest ex? No. No. She had a daughter, but no, she and I together did not have children. Fortunate for me. Okay. Yes. Huh. Well, I don't know why it would be so much cheaper where you are, Rhonda, and not here. Maybe I shouldn't just read the information. Maybe I should go knock on their door and see what they say. Maybe. Yeah, maybe so. So anyhow, so that's been my rant for today is, guys, I'm finding my passion again and getting back to that. A little update this week. It's been kind of quiet. Had the grandsons here yesterday for a little while. Had some fun with that. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I posted on Facebook a picture of my youngest grandson wearing my snorkeling gear. He looked kind of funny. I had made a little frog man out of him. He had my fins on and a mask and snorkel. They did not fit him. They did not fit him at all, but it was fun to watch. He had fun playing with it for a little while, so that was kind of cool. But right, you never have to speak to her again. That's right, Palm Limit. Never speaking to her again. In fact, I have two cell phones. I have one which is my Alaska phone number, and I have a new one which I have set up temporarily as an Ohio phone number. I'm going to have to change that to a Florida number once I start my office down there because I need a local phone number for that. This phone number, the Alaska number, is getting disconnected. And that's the only phone number that she has for me, so that'll be the end of it. Once the real estate deal closes and the farm sells, the number gets disconnected. I don't want to hear from anybody in that state again. Moving on. Walk at mall in the budget. That's right. That's right. Walking at the mall is in the budget. It is cost me absolutely nothing. So, well, great. You'll never have to speak to her again. Yep. YMCA offers income-based scholarships. Yeah, Brian, and my problem with that is my income is high. It's just right at the moment it's not. Now 2017, I admit, 2017, I didn't make crap in 2017 up in Alaska. I took a bath up in Alaska. 2016, I made 120 grand. 2016, I made 100, no. Yes. 2016, I made 120 grand. The year before that, I made 98,000. So yeah, I mean, I'm normally a high earner, so I don't qualify for income-based scholarships because when I show my taxes show, this huge income from before. So that doesn't do me any good. In fact, my income from before is going to be peanuts compared to what my income is going to be this year. I know that's rather ballsy of me saying that, but, I won't be at least bit surprised if I'm in that 240,000 a year range this year. Once I get licensed and get going in, well, I don't know, we're already in February. My goal is to do 150 to 200,000 this year down in Florida. Enough that I can spend $80,000 on a decent monohull down there come November. And that's kind of what I'm, 50 to 80,000 is what I plan on spending on a boat come November. So take everyone until next. Be safe. Hey, Kim, you take care, darling. We'll see you later. Are you still looking for a property? No, I am not looking for a property at this time. I am looking to get my real estate license going. I am looking to get earning built up down in Florida, and then I'll be buying a boat. That'll be my next large capital investment. Well, I'll probably buy a truck and then a boat because I'm going to sell my excursion and buy something cheap to drive for the time being. So my first earnings will be buying me a better vehicle, and then after that, I'll be buying a boat. So malls around here open their doors early for mall walkers. Works well for them and for the walkers. Good deal. I'll check into that. Did you watch the entire taste test yesterday? Did you watch the entire taste test? What taste test are you talking about? Oh, Sailing Doodles. Yes. Sailing Doodles did a live stream, kind of like I'm doing now. Only what they did is they tested hot sauces. They each drank a little bit of hot sauce and progressively went hotter and hotter and hotter, depending on how many thumbs up they got. Yeah, I didn't watch all of it. I went back and watched the first 45 minutes or so, up until about the point where I think I came in, when I started watching afterwards. Maybe I missed a little in the middle there someplace, but yeah, it was pretty good. But, I just don't see the point of putting them through that kind of pain. It was pretty funny, though, wasn't it? It was pretty funny. So, what part of Florida? A Marathon, Florida Keys. I'm going to be working in the Florida Keys. That is the best real estate market for the kind of business that I do. It's a very high NRO ratio down there, non-resident owners. 60% of the property owners in the Florida Keys don't live in the Florida Keys. So for someone who, like myself, who is not a resident of the Florida Keys, I'm not ingrained in that community, and so I don't know everybody. The fact is, in the Florida Keys, most of the people who live there don't know everybody. So it opens up a lot of potential customers for me. It makes my life a lot easier. And since I specialize in just working with sellers of properties, not buyers, it's the best choice for me. In 2015, I went down there and opened a real estate office, and I did very well. In the very short in the very short period of time that I was actually in the Florida Keys, especially in that part of the Florida Keys where I wasn't arguing with because that's when my wife and I got divorced. We moved down there in February of 2015. I had just gotten my real estate license there and was just getting started. In April, she wanted to separate. And so everything fell apart. So I really only had 2 months of really good working there. And then I had a couple more months of working and fighting with her all the time and arguing and marriage counseling and all the nonsense and distress and distraction that went with all that. And with all that said and done, I still made $80,000 in the Florida Keys that year. So that's why I'm motivated to go back there. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think I'll do very well down the Florida Keys. So I enjoy the Selling Doodles live chat. Yeah, they did a pretty good job with it. It was funny. It was funny. Selling Doodles into Epic. Yep. Hey, while we're on the subject, guys, if you are a YouTuber, feel free to give your YouTube channel a plug. You know, just say on here, hey, I'm a YouTuber, and please check out my channel if you would. And if folks do that, people, you can go to, if you hover on either just their name, or you go to the 3 dots on the right-hand side, you can click those 3 dots, and it'll give you the option of going to their channel. And you can go over there and click and subscribe and all that kind of fun stuff. So I like to help out other channels that are trying to get started and get built. So if you're a YouTuber, give yourself a plug and try to pick up some subs, because that's the name of the game, is trying to get viewers. So let's try to work on that. So anyhow, that's the extent of what I wanted to go on about today. It's been about an hour, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Unless anybody's got anything particular that they'd like to talk about. There you go. Rhonda's got a channel. Yep. Cheshire Canary. Feel free to go over there and subscribe to Rhonda's channel. I'm a new YouTuber. The name says it all. There you go. Papa Truck Prepstetter. Go ahead and subscribe to Papa Truck. My ex used the smoke detector as a meat thermometer. Okay. Not too bright. Not a YouTuber, but I have a couple of photo slideshows on my channel. Well, there you go, Don. Everything counts. Everything counts. So, guys, go ahead and subscribe to those guys if you will. Always like to help out other YouTubers if given the opportunity. So, I know how hard it was to get my channel started and off the ground. I remember seeing the first subscriber and the 5th subscriber and the 10th subscriber and, you know, watching that grow incrementally. And right now I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the numbers I'm at right now because I keep vacillating. I'm sure once I start buying a boat or producing more actual sailing content that we'll pick that back up again and we'll start moving along again. In fact, I'm kind of hoping to be able to make some trips down to Florida here in the next couple of months. And while I'm down there, I will be, you know, looking at some boats and doing some boat shopping and videos about that, as well as some conservation issues, some scuba diving things, that sort of stuff. I'm going to be acquiring a whole new set of scuba diving gear, so I'm going to make some footage about that and what choices I'm making in regards to that gear and why I'm doing it. And we'll just, you know, it'll be a lot to follow, as you can see from there. So, Deep South Homestead Spring Gathering, March 11th, all welcome. Yep, if you're into homesteading, Deep South Homestead is another YouTube channel. Be well all. I'm off to watch the closing ceremonies. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this, too. Not that I'm going to go watch the closing ceremonies, but just because I'm tired and I'm hoarse and I like to relax and watch a little TV before I go to bed. So, with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. You guys all take good care of each other. Be kind to one another. If there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. I'll be happy to jump in and try to help out. In the meantime, don't let the haters and the buttheads on YouTube get to you. Try to stay positive. And who knows? Maybe we'll all meet very soon someplace nice and warm like this sandy beach down in the British Virgin Islands. Folks, y'all take good care of yourself, and we will catch you next time. Bye.